So we are in the piece of cause and effect. One of the complaints adoptive parents have of adolescent adoptees is that they seem to have no sense of cause and effect. Consequences are of no consequence, so to speak. The phenomenon even appears with adoptees who, until adolescence, had been perfect children. Suddenly, the parents feel betrayed by a child who no longer cares about the consequences of their behavior. It often appears as if there is no sense that there is a consequence. There is a mysterious lack of sense of cause and effect. It appears that for the adoptee, the destruction of the meaningful order of creation has led to a sense of chaos and confusion about the natural order of things. One can no longer trust the natural order because the event which normally follows birth is that the infant is locked into the sublime symbiosis with the mother. They are one, the mother-baby about which Winnicott speaks. The mother's disappearance is like falling through the universe, floating through space with no grounding. There is no order, only chaos and confusion. That confusion is further reinforced by being placed in an alien place with strangers. Nothing is familiar. One looks into the faces of strangers. There is no reflection of self. No assurance that the infant is all right. Not only has the adoptee been betrayed by the mother, but also by God. There can be no more trust in the transcendent order of the divine. The adoptee may feel abandoned, disconnected, alone, and cast out of the human and divine systems. They feel counterfeit and false. Many adoptees feel as if they do not really exist, or at the very least that they have no right to exist. For many, the risk of connection is synonymous with the risk of annihilation. So there's a reason that adoptees are 4.7 times more likely to unalive ourselves. Right? That's what we're getting at. For some adoptees, the labels that are attached to them, such as illegitimate, bastard, etc., add to the sense of having no right to exist. Even though the secrecy laws were supposed to prevent this illegitimacy by providing a false birth certificate and doing away with any knowledge of the birth family, the labels often persisted. One young woman told of her attempt to justify her existence and overcome the label of illegitimacy by becoming a nun. She wanted to be a missionary, thus making her feel like a worthwhile member of the human race and worthy of God. However, when she applied to a Franciscan order in Iowa, her admission was denied solely because of her illegitimate birth. This reason was actually written in a formal letter of rejection. Naturally, this only added to her feelings of being unworthy, even of God, and brought about her first suicidal thoughts. Basic trust is destroyed by the severance of this bond with the original mother. This disconnection, as well as other traumas, calls into question basic human relationships, as Herman says. Basic trust is the foundation of belief in the continuity of life, the order of nature, and the transcendent order of the divine. A secure sense of connection with caring people is the foundation of personality development. There are two things which further compromise the development of personality for the adoptee. One is that in the adoptive family, the caregivers cannot mirror the adoptee's personality, character traits, or physical features. The other is that there is no before trauma self as reference point for the personality. Thus, the adoptee often assumes that their coping behavior, which is designed to ward off another disaster, are their true personality. They are constantly reacting to the early abandonment experience. Segal states these implicit recollections are not usually subject to a process of self-reflection, as in, why am I doing this or feeling this way? Individuals may sense these experiences as just defining who they are, according to his 1999 study. This is the one of the beliefs which needs to be challenged. There is a big difference between personality of who we are and our behavior of what we do, especially as it pertains to coping behavior. So, I want to add that, it's going to differ in the pre-trauma self because while majority of us are private infant adoptees, right? We had no basically life with our biological parents prior to that other than being in the womb. There are those that did, whether they were adopted later on, they went through foster care, something of that sort. So there is some that have that experience and revert back to it, but you're basically stuck in this, your brain is basically stuck in this age of where that trauma hit, right? And it's, for the majority of us, well, all trauma rewires the brain, but especially as babies, we can't unwire what we didn't know, if that makes sense. So a lot of it is hard, and we're looking for safety and feeling that way, and it's very hard for us to feel that way when we've been lied to by the government, we've been lied to by biological family, by adoptive family, by society. It's just, it's feels like it's never ending. Anyway, we're going to continue on. Tune in a couple of days for the next part.